finding out more about him. And I think one thing that really, we'll see FSR break off real quick, but I think one thing that really helps Gary in this ball in hand may not hurt to start, but you know, from what I hear, he's a snooker player that is really good at side spin, which not all snooker players play with a lot of side, and that really helps in 9-ball pool. It's really something you do pretty much every shot.
Please.
And he will have come here today feeling that he can pull off the ultimate scalp.
Yeah, in situations like this at the beginning of the week, you may have labeled it kind of getting your feet wet in the 9-ball pool, but you know, he's a top cueist in snooker, so of course the will to win is there.
And look how quickly he's played in this opening rack. Ball in hand, and in no time at all, he's turned that into a 1-0 lead.
Really nice break off, and I was curious, of course you can't get this far without breaking the balls pretty well, but a very nice one there to open from Gary. I'll tell you, I don't know if you noticed, but the shot he played from the pink 4 to the 5, very, very crafty, getting in position to make the rack a little easier. Oh my, didn't expect that. And that's the kind of miss maybe pulling the trigger quickly can get you. You got to figure if he really takes dead aim in there, he doesn't miss that ball.
Really, that's a long way out.
Extension code.
Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, a very deserving world #1. He's had an extraordinary 12 months or so. 31 years of age, from Murcia.
Yeah, no surprise, of course, he's in this final 16, and be surprised if he wasn't, but you know, UK Open leading up to the inaugural Spanish Open. Pretty sweet to have him here, and never know what kind of, you know, role he can continue on heading into his home country in just a few weeks.
Well, it's going to be an incredible fortnight in Lugo. We've got that first Spanish Open, as you say, an event identical to this really in terms of format and prize money and all the rest of it, and then the World Cup of Pool straight off the back of it. Spain defending their title there.
All about speed control here. You can see the 8, no problem. I hit it a little thick, kind of swerving into the ball with English, so a true tester here in game 2. And very surprising. That's a little nerves usually when you underhit the ball. What happens is with the English, when you underhit it, the ball curves a little early, catches the 8 a little thick to the pocket, and costs you a little cue ball. Yeah, a little kick there on the 9-ball, and that's what happens when you fall behind the ball on the rail. And I'll tell you, if Gary can get this 9-ball down, he can really excuse the big miss on the green 6.
Well, we could have as many as 19 racks in this match. This is only the second of them, but this already feels like potentially a big moment. And Gary Wilson, cool as you like, takes the second rack.
Added variable. You're probably going to see Gary come to the bottom cushion, come up at the 1-ball. Is he looking to tie the 2 up? Okay. Pretty smart overall here.
Shot.
Lengthening the
Ball in
game.
hand.
Even though that was an easy kick to hit, it really didn't offer a ton of safety in return, so not a bad play there from Gary.
Chris Melling levelled at 1-all against Ko Ping Chung, who had that golden break in the opener, but Ko back in front now at 2-1, and it's 1-all in the match between Ko Ping Yi and Moritz Neuhausen.
Yeah, and I think you're going to hear from Neuhausen A lot more in the future here. Looking for the 3 foul, maybe playing the safety behind the pink. Not his best. He really wanted to creep the cue ball up onto that pink, not really offering all these kick options. Now, very important hit here, though. A 9-ball pool, 3 consecutive fouls is a loss of game, and that's going to hurt.
Shot. This is your second foul, Gary.
Yeah, having that pointed out to him
Start the clock,
by
please.
referee Desislava Bojalova.
And Gary kind of always looked in that path. There were other paths coming to the left side of the table, 1 or 2 rails at the 1. Now, when you're trying to get the 3rd foul, you obviously need the snooker, but you want the 1 to be around other balls to create other congestion, maybe cut off a rail or 2. That's a much better cue ball there, and he's going to have to do something
Gary,
sweet.
you have made 2 fouls, so if you make a foul again, you will lose the rack.
We always talk about these snooker players trying their hand at pool. They have to compete with the established 9-ball nous of these top players that only gets built up over many years. We're seeing a classic example of it with the way FSR is approaching this 3rd rack.
Yeah, he really only has, in my opinion, 3 rails to go at this ball. If he can
Extension
go
code.
1 rail, though, right here to the right long rail with some spin, and you see where FSR has put the 1 near the purple 5. So part of the 1 is cut off now, and that's ideal. It's going to be a very slow speed here. Oh, look at this crafty shot. Good effort.
Foul shot. Francisco Sanchez Ruiz wins the rack.
And with that, Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, in unusual circumstances, wins the 3rd rack.
And he's going to get inside the 1. Good speed, though, and that's why the light speed. He's not going to leave anything easy for Gary. Now, Gary, of course, top 20 in the world in snooker, so he recognizes situations, I think, even in 9-ball pool, and maybe has to recognize that's exactly what I was wondering. If he realizes he needs to take some shots on, he needs to realize he's got to do something special to beat FSR. He may not be able to. Oh, wow. Really good. And that's where he needed that side spin we were talking about, a little running spin, you may say, to get onto the purple 5. Important hit here. Might get it 5 rails.
Foul shot. Bow in hand.
So long as you hit the lowest numbered ball remaining on the table first, any pot is legal and keeps you at the table. And then ultimately it's whoever pots the 9-ball wins the rack. But back in the moment, Wilson looking a bit frustrated there. That flying start is slipping into the memory now, and he's left a simple starter here for FSR.
So, but the good thing is, you know, only 4-2 here. If he can settle in, he's kind of seen it all already here early in this match, and just kind of get a little more relaxed.
So 2 dry breaks in a row. But Gary Wilson did not extract full price for either of them. And so Francisco Sanchez Ruiz has now won 4 in a row. He leads this last 16 clash by 4 racks to 2.
Yeah, I think being a little more comfortable with side spin, I think, really helps. And it's kind of a control thing for a lot of players, right? You're in control of a lot whenever you put a little side on it.
Yeah, I think with the snooker, because the table's a bit bigger, obviously when you use side it's tougher to be as accurate, so that's I think why we snooker players cut down on using side all the time. But with
Yeah,
pool,
the smaller balls too.
yeah, it just, but the throw's different as well. The throw's maybe not as controllable. These tables, there's no nap, is there, on the cloth? So I think that when you put side on the white ball, it's consistently throwing. Whereas with snooker, if you're putting side against the nap or with the nap, against the nap or with the nap, it can throw differently. It's a chance here for Gary then.
Yeah, just when it looked as though it was going to be 5 in a row, Sanchez Ruiz left himself with a bit of work to do on the 8, and that's caused him to miss the pot. And now Wilson really has to take advantage here.
Now, I know you played some pool prior to this event, Jack, and probably on a little friendlier pockets than we saw here this week. Were you impressed by the pockets? What do you have there to say?
The pockets,
That
that was the first thing I noticed. The pockets, I thought, I couldn't believe how small they were. I've played pool before in sort of halls and stuff, and when I was out in America, and these pockets are definitely smaller than I've ever seen anyway.
Really has looked pretty solid. Just a few shots have gotten away from him. Probably has broken the balls better than his opponent, which is pretty impressive. Definitely in striking distance. Should get out here and make it 5-4.
Well, he needed this, didn't he? Passed up a couple of opportunities to stay in touch with Sanchez Ruiz, which you have to feel psychologically is absolutely key to him having a genuine chance of winning this match. And with that break and run, sorry, not a break and run, picking up off the dry break from Sanchez Ruiz and running it out from there. So Wilson back to only one behind.
Taking a little more time here, maybe just concerned about the cue ball. Maybe just go into the brown 7, maybe. He's going to get up table a little distance away from the purple 5, but should be okay.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier for anyone not familiar with the game. So long as you hit the lowest numbered ball remaining on the table first, any pot is legal and keeps you at the table. So Wilson with the 5-8 combination there. Now he plays the 5 again, pots it, but follows it in with the cue ball. And another moment that could be looked back on at the end as absolutely key. What a chance that was to draw level for the first time since it was 2-2. And he's gifted this one.
Yeah, a little experience may have gotten him there. A lot of your pool players may have played rail first. Yeah, I think that's the shot. Keep it simple. You may catch the 7 and the 9, depending. Oh, he let up. The tip position came up a little bit. I thought he would stay away from the side spin on that draw stroke. Straight draw kind of grabs the ball a little bit better than that right, you know, low right English, you might say. Also thought it'd be a little bit of a softer draw as well, but
foul shot.
Rare missed kick from FSR.
Bow in hand.
So another big chance for Wilson. He really couldn't ask for them to be placed a great deal better than this. So he looks to get back to only one behind. And the other British player remaining, Chris Melling, he's hanging on well. He's won the 14th rack and now trails only 8-6 against Ko Ping Chung.
And as far as Melling, from what I've seen so far, is it really wasn't a ton of mistakes to get behind, so that always puts you in a good spot to come back, just in case you get some opportunity. Gary's cue ball's gotten a little loose at times, but
prime position restored now, though. And once again, Gary Wilson doing just what he has to do, hanging on here. He's back to only one behind again. That's 6-5. By 10 racks to 6.
Foul shot. Bow in hand.
well, the first jump went well, the second one not so well. But one of our main stories, or at least in my mind, is still brewing, that being the possibility of 2 Ko brothers in the finals here at the UK Open. I know that's happened in snooker. It may have been 80 or 90 years ago. I can't remember.
The Davis brothers.
Yeah, that's right.
Playing the best of about 1,000.
Yeah, the one brother quit, so he didn't get beat by his other brother, right? Sounds like my family, to be honest with you.
Ko Ping Chung will now go through to face either Shane Van Boning or Eklund Kachi.
Yeah, and both those players in really good form. I don't know if I've ever seen Kachi really from tournament to tournament look so solid.
Yeah, it's not often he has 2 really good tournaments in a row, but coming in here off the back of getting to the World Masters final. That was not a happy tournament for Francisco Sanchez Ruiz. He went out in the first round in Brentwood. but he's still going strong here. And now 3 racks away from a place in the quarterfinals. He leads Gary Wilson by 2 once more at 7-5.
He's in striking distance now. I mean, you get to 5 games, your opponent at 7, you can certainly win this match. I'm wondering what he's thinking here. The kick on the 3, not too hard. And that's something y'all don't do a ton of. You do some, right? There's some standard ones, Jack, but don't surrender, ball in hand.
Foul shot. Ball in hand.
The problem is FSR will most likely shoot the 3 and open that problem with the 5-7 while gaining some type of position on the pink 4. What'd you think of the rail first shots, the kick shots this week, Jack?
It's different. The cushions play slightly different, and I don't know. Just these situations confuse me still. To be honest, I don't know what he did there, and yeah, no comment. No comment for a minute.
Well, he's misjudged that situation, surely, Jeremy.
Yeah, and that's just experience. And the one thing is, you know, I think he feels like that's something always in your bag, is to take an intentional foul, right? But you got to look at it and say, I can hit this kick shot right here.
I mean, I didn't even know you could do that. I know in snooker, if you do an intentional foul, you lose the frame.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna. That's definitely you know, something that comes up, right, when you have the worst of it.
Gary Wilson, whatever happens now, will have people saying to him at the end of the match, oh look, you've had a great run, you've done well, you put it up to FSR. I don't think he's going to want to hear a bit of it. It's not his character, it's not his nature. He'll look back with regrets on this match, and the very choice of what he did at his last visit to the table will be near the top of the list if FSR punishes him for it here. It's an amazing stat to see. The dry breaks, it's 5-1, but it's FSR with the 5. They're more dry than not.
Trying to make this. Expected a little bit more of a two-way shot with the 1 ball escaping up table if it did miss that side pocket.
There's no bigger scalp in the game these days than Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, and if he can polish off these last few here, he's still got every chance of claiming it. But what's gone wrong here?
Maybe a little frustration there.
He seems to have taken a policy from the start of the match, really, not to take too long over any shot. He's just getting down and playing everything without any great deliberation.
Well, he's been there for every win he's had here at the UK Open, so he knows what, you know, what he's been going with, what he's been doing. Probably not trying to change a whole lot here in the final 16. Most likely having to play from underneath the 8. Maybe puts a little side here. Yeah, that's what I figured. Just keep it simple. Hopefully off the rail with the cue ball, and that's not the case. Really good crowds here on the weekend. Should get even bigger as the day goes.
Yeah, you've got 3 tables in operation now, and the way it's set up for this final weekend, you can sit yourself there and watch all 3 matches at once. And here's Francisco Sanchez Ruiz making a decisive move towards the line here. He now leads 9-5 after winning 3 racks in a row. Personally, I think the term bank is harder to explain. Where does that come from?
Wow.
Yeah, one of the best with the jump cue, especially when the pressure's on.
Yeah, no need to explain the term jump shot, and FSR really demonstrating it there.
Yeah, that's an amazing shot to control the white ball as well. So hard to do.
See, Jack, in 2 or 3 years' time, that's the sort of shot you'll be playing out there.
I'm not sure about that. But yeah, I can definitely appreciate how hard that is and confirm it now. My cue ball would have definitely been off the table there.
Yeah, well, once you do it a few times, a little bit more, you start to realize how good the equipment is. So it's just a little timing. Ooh. That one there. Sorry, Michael.
Well, I was just going to say, he had a few nervy moments at the start of the match. He had another one there, coming towards what looks to be the end of it. Gary Wilson has really added so much to this UK Open. He won 5 matches. He beat some very good players, most notably Thomas Kaplan, and in particular Naoki Oi. And I've no doubt we're going to see him again on the international pool stage. If this is what he can do in only his 3rd tournament, imagine what he might achieve once he's got a bit more experience under his belt. And he still had every chance of winning this match. After 11 racks, he was only 1 behind at 6-5. Sanchez Ruiz has come at the end with a run of 4 racks in a row. Runner-up in the UK Open in its inaugural staging last year. He's now just 2 wins away from getting to the final again. Farewell then to Gary Wilson. The world champ, though, marches on. He's the winner by 10 racks to 5.
Queuing off the rail. It's a little tester into the side pocket. But one of, if not one of the best potters on the World 9-Ball Tour, Joshua Phillip. He knows how big the start of this match is. If he can just keep Riku under the pressure, he'll know that. He's not used to this type of setup, these arenas. Looks a little wide. Yeah, it looked a little wide. So, big mistake here from the defending champ.
We saw there the numbers in the brackets. Joshua Phillip, #1 seed. Riku Romppanen, 70th.
Well, what a shot he played there. Decided to rip it in, Phil, and come all the way back off the top rail.
No fear, no scar tissue.
Riku Romppanen.
The boy with the initials RR wants to give Joshua Phillip some RR, rest and recuperation. Well, who knows what he can do. It's a race to 10, so very early days, but Riku Romppanen already showing us what a potter and what a player he is already.
Leading by 1 rack to 0.
First look at the break of the youngster. Trying to put the 1 in the side, and he does so. Gets the 9 moving. Look at how many balls he's potted here. 4. 4 balls on the break. He can actually pot this 2. But because of where the cue ball is, it's just a horrible shot he's faced with. And if he does pot the 2, he can't get the cue ball near the red 3. But he may have some sort of carom or combo. Let's see if he's attacking this ball. Oh, well, he's fearless, Phil. The young man is fearless.
One thing we know already, no nerves have set in. He looks as though he's been centre stage playing the game's top players on TV in front of a big live audience all his life.
Extension, please.
I think he's going to be
The
playing the
extension,
3
please.
onto the 9 ball. The 3 doesn't past the 9, rather. So he'll play the 3 onto the 9, or may even play off the edge and send the cue ball into the 9. That's what he's playing. Ooh, good effort.
Or die.
Yep, that's the background of 9 ball. We've always played double elimination events. Some events that we play on tour are single elim. We've seen that with the Whirlpool Masters that Ko Pin-Yi took down just a couple of weeks ago. Filler's very good. If he misses a ball, Phil, he just gets on with it. Forgets about the mistakes.
Joshua Filler wins the third round.
Filler, the defending champion, looking to retain this prestigious title, leads the 15-year-old 2-1.
The scratch is looming. Oh, he's done well there. He has done well there. What a shot. To hit that yellow 1 ball full and keep the cue ball there. Look at this.
Certainly didn't want the 1 to drop into the middle pocket. That would have done him no favours. It was a tremendous hit.
Well, there was not much of a gap there at one point. I didn't even think the ball went in the pocket. Look at that gap. There's no gap there. He's a magician.
The harsh defeats. Sitting in hotel rooms around the world wondering why I did this, why I did that. They play with a freshness and total confidence. And we've already seen it from Romppanen. The ball to get in the first frame, but then that was a lack of concentration. Nothing to do with confidence or self-belief.
Playing it with left spin. Didn't judge the movement on the cue ball. When you play with left English, it pushes the cue ball to the right a little bit, so misjudgment there. How costly could that mistake be? That was a bit naughty, wasn't it, Phil?
How it should be. No room for charity at this level of 9-ball pool. Be as hard as you possibly can.
Got a chance of potting this, though. He's going to go close. He's going to go close. Oh, I thought he was going to pot it and scratch. The fact that the 2-ball rattled meant the cue ball just flicked it. Boy, this is a tough pot. This really is. Out of the jaws, across the width of the table.
He's like a statue when he plays. He's so quiet. The head, no movement until after the cue is delivered.
Cue ball could be close to the scratch. Wow.
Foul
What
stroke.
a mistake that is.
Ball in
What a
hand.
chance for Riku to tie this match up.
Please start the clock.
It was borderline when Carl suggested it might go in. Filler himself wasn't sure. But it had just about the right accuracy and pace to fall. Well, from his perspective, the wrong accuracy and pace.
Cue ball's following a similar path. Oh, that's just
Foul stroke.
lack
Ball in
of
hand.
experience. That's just his age showing there.
And please start the clock.
They're the things what will make this young man learn, though. You have to make these mistakes because he's found the natural path there. He will learn from that. It hurts now, but that type of thing will improve his game for sure. He's got to hit this maybe just somewhere after the line, the bulk line. Yeah, nice shot there from Joshua, the killer filler.
No one's better at that shot than him. On this particular occasion, too much pace in the cue ball, but the actual pot was executed ideally.
It was a lot thinner than we thought, looking at that camera angle. But the mistake, another mistake from Josh, gets the young man back to the table. Needs to get the cue ball coming back in a similar line to where his hand is now. Or can he slide it up above the green 6? I think this will be okay. Yeah, he's going to bump the 7. That's fine.
Can't imagine he's going to miss this the way he's played so far.
There you go, Romppanen.
It was never in doubt. Riku Romppanen sticking with one of the game's giants.
Josh will fancy this though, he'll go close. May just keep the cue because he's hooked. May chase the 9-ball now. Can he hit the right hand side of the pink 4 as we look and pot the 9? May play the bank shot as well, so banking the pink 4 up into the top right corner. That would leave distance as well because the cue ball may stay at the bottom end of the table. That's what he's played. It's close. Wow, what a shot. That's what he's played. Joshua Filler has shown up. The biggest moment of this match so far.
Well done to you, Carl, as well. What a shot. And you can see he's really up for this. There's no complacency whatsoever from Filler. When that one went in, he was loving it.
Yeah, and for the people who have watched 9-ball, and you say the pockets are massive, the buckets, that's why we play on a table where it's a little bit more forgiving. So we see them type of shots, so the players take them shots on. Big moment Joshua Filler has come with, back-to-back jump shots.
Now that sounded like a skid, yeah, not surprised that Marcel Eckhart is called into action. Again, it's terminology. It's a kick in snooker, a skid in pool. It means an abnormal contact. You can either see it, or in that case, hear it, like two boulders colliding. But Filler, not on the skids, he's on the 9, and he's about to be halfway towards victory.
Joshua Filler wins the rack.
There it goes. The jumped length of table bank on the 4. That was the pivotal moment.
Trying to kick, just missed the 8-ball, one rail. Tried to play the kick and stick. And because the cue ball has not stuck, it's peeped its way out and left Filler with an easy shot on the pink 4, and all the balls are sat in nice positions. This should be rack over. just can't draw level. The young man just can't get back fully in this match.
I've noticed with him before, in the limited amount of matches I've commentated on Riku Romppanen, when he gets a little tight and the pressure's on, the only tell, as it were, he goes a little red in the cheeks. The face starts to go a little red. Wouldn't be the first Q Sports player to be like that. The 1985 World Snooker champion Dennis Taylor, when he was involved in a real battle, as he got closer, he got a little redder.
Joshua Filler wins the rack.
This hasn't gone closer. Joshua Filler re-establishing a 2-rack cushion at 6-4. Having the better of it.
Went for the bank. It looked good. Stayed over the hole for Josh. Can he get the cue ball back out of there to get on the pink 4? It's always awkward when the ball's right deep in the pocket. That's okay. Purple 5 goes in the bottom right corner. Yeah, if you could put the cue ball there, you'd be more than happy.
Quickly, another lead change on table 2. Francesco Candela 7-6 now on Dimitris Nakatos.
That was a very tidy positional shot there. He made that look very easy. Well, this has been the finish of the match for me. It looked very easy, but he's had to have pinpoint cue ball control. Under pressure as well, Filler, in this match. But yet again, it's this 9 to go too clear.
Joshua Filler.
Didn't seem the
the
best contact there on the 9, but it just about went in on the thick side. I think against more familiar opposition, he'll be okay, but in the back of his mind he's thinking, my opponent is 15. Terrific pot.
Yeah, a couple of poor safeties, real poor safeties from Josh has sold out this chance. Goes without saying he'd love to just keep Joshua on 8 and claw his way back into this match. Whenever an opponent gets on the hill and you're a few racks in front, you always feel like it's a tall order. This combination, 6 onto the 9 for 8-6.
Extension, please. Riku Romppanen wins the rack.
No mistake. The gap is closed to 2.
This doesn't look good to me. Yeah, it just didn't look good. The way it rolled towards the pocket, it wasn't going with authority. Another mistake, another miss.
Missed a similar delicate cut back to that much earlier in the match, again by overcutting.
Yeah, his instinct was signalling, did it roll off? But we all seen the replay. That ball did not roll off. It stayed straight. It was just a poorly hit shot. Oh, does he come back far enough? Can he pop the pink 4? Oh, he can't. That's a shame. Got to recompose himself. Play the right shot here. He's gone for the cross bank. He's gone for the cross bank and he's made it. Wants the cue ball off the rail.
Just a little nudge on the 5 here would have been priceless. As it is, extension taken by Riku to think about what's required. The hardest part about potting balls on these tables when you go to the middles, there's no forgiving whatsoever. And that epitomises the match. Nothing's been easy for Filler. Where the 9 was, he had to play that with bundles of running side. And he's played it really nicely. That deserved applause. There wasn't any.
Yeah, that was actually a ridiculous shot he played there. He gets this one right, this match is over. Yeah, and he has done.
Filler's biggest supporter not here, Pia Filler. I believe she's playing in the European Championships at the moment. But I'm a big supporter of his because no one plays better pool when he's in top gear. He hasn't been in this match, but I think he's done enough to drive on through.
Yes, you're not always going to play your A game. Even Joshua Filler doesn't. But it's about getting the W, getting the win. Find a way to win, and that's what he has done in this match. Riku Romppanen, you will be back. There is no doubt about it. Great memories here this week for the young man and his father. But it's this 9-ball. Joshua Filler's dreams alive as a repeat.
Joshua Filler wins the rack.
Yeah, Riku Romppanen won 5 matches. He played well over 100 racks, but in the end, the might of Joshua Filler proved the ultimate stumbling block. Never mind for the 15-year-old. He's got time on his side and then some. Joshua Filler, the defending champion, goes into the quarterfinals of this UK Open. Back-to-back wins in this tournament really would be some form of accomplishment. The final score, 10-6.